Welcome to Voices of the Impact Economy, brought to you by FES India and Second Nature Sustainable Solutions. My name is Ashish. I hope you have been watching this series. We have 13 reels so far, and the idea is to bring to life impact investment, and the impact economy. And our aim is really to build coalitions to solve these problems of the three P's, as they're called: people, planet, and profit. Today, I'm actually lucky to have with me three very inspiring and passionate change makers who, in their own right and in their domains, are creating what we have started calling as real impact. And I want to talk to them about their journey, their passion, but also what is it they need from the ecosystem itself for that, all elusive scale up of their enterprises. But let's start with some quick intros. Siddharth, why don't you go first? Then Neera and KO, just keep it quick and short, 30 seconds, what you do and what enterprise you're running.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me. I'm a founder at Minus CO2. What Minus CO2 does is it's focused on accelerating the transition to solar energy with two primary segments. The one is we call it as an EPC segment, wherein we help school, colleges, residential societies build solar power plant for themselves with the upfront investment. And the second segment is wherein we, with the help of the retail impact investors, get the funds from them and invest those funds on the renewable assets. And for the school, colleges, and the societies, for them, the solar is without any investment. They just have to pay for the electricity that is generated from that. So that's what we do at Minus U2.
I am a founder of an organization. It's called Art and Education Foundation, and we have an art program called Open Doors. We are targeting schools and the curriculum that is currently being played in the schools. We are promoting meaningful art curriculum and art activities as opposed to meaningless skill-based art exercises. We believe art can be happily used to promote to creativity, to promote expression and all the all the concepts that follow with it, critical thinking, focus, etc. So that's what Open Doors Art Program is aiming for.
I am from Kesajan Building Center. We recycle and upcycle the construction and demolition as well as other mineral waste of industry into a building materials like bricks and mortars.
So let's dive in now into, for each of you. And Kev, let's just go with you first. So you said construction and demolition waste. And essentially, when you say upcycling, you're talking about circular economy. When you started this, nobody was talking about it. So how did you decide to look at this sector?
In the industry where recycling is done somewhere or the environment friendly activity is done. So I started with fly ash brick manufacturing, and I optimized that particular resource efficiency by including more and more recycling content. So presently we are our product contains 85 to 90% recycled content in product. So that's what has improvised on these many years.
All right. So your passion was on the waste itself, how to convert waste to what's nowadays called wealth.
Yes, I think I found material interesting, and then that approach was recycling. So that both went well.
All right. Neera, I come with an academically and engineering background have no idea what the C of creative really means. In today's day and age where STEM and all of those things are so important, why do you think creative arts, creativity of expression is so important for you to devote all your energy into it? I'm sure it's not easy to sell this either.
The creative arts and the broader realm of I would say expressive creativity are essential for the society for a lot of profound reasons which are not exactly measurable, but they do make them worth the devotion of time, energy, and passion. uh, at the core of it, I think creative arts, any kinds, help you express your identity and emotions. It allows individuals to explore and express their inner selves, emotions, identity, leading to formation of opinion, leading to execution of ideas which are original, which are innovative. And then we have, of course, the other layers like cultural preservation and evolution, communication beyond words, the subtle, levels of human minds, the mental and emotional well-being, and I think all these factors uh, have a huge social, political, and economical impact on the individuals and the world around them. And I have seen the changes in front of me, not miracles but definitely changes in behavior, in thought process, focus, learning in front of me.
So, okay, Siddharth,
Yeah,
uh, solar sector, I also kind of understand a little bit, right? So, and you focus, like you said, on distributed energy, rooftop solar. Yeah, the
correct.
headlines are all about large scale, right? You set up a few hundred megawatts of a solar plant or a gigawatt factory. Why is it that you continue to look only at this small 20, 30, 200, 300 kilowatt kind of range of solar projects?
While those projects are also going on, the distributed solar projects provide a unique proposition actually. Your centralized projects require land, it requires infrastructure versus, and that what does that make is make the urban areas underserved now, wherein the energy consumption is actually higher. So with decentralized, there are a lot of studies also available in the market that decentralized can actually be a solution for an, let's say for example, for Mumbai, you can cover all the rooftops in Mumbai and power almost 50% of the electricity needs. So it has a unique proposition wherein we are able to bring in the retail investment participation. And though it's a small model, but it's scalable at the same time. We are
Hmm.
targeting 100, 200 kilowatt systems, but then rooftop is not able to catch up. But the model that we have, it can be scaled.
Keyur, amongst the three of you guys, Kesurgeon is the longest running enterprise. And what I've learned the ecosystem does is it says you're no longer a startup. If you haven't scaled, you've become called a SME or a smaller micro enterprise. So for you now, scale is not from a startup perspective, even though you're working in that space of impact. It's moving to basically the next level, like an MSME, as they're called. So what makes it difficult for you to get to that level?
It took many years to stabilize the product and establish a standard product or acceptable product in the market. So that many years were very difficult with the matlab, whenever you are when the products in developing stage, the people are not ready to use. The market acceptance is very low. So that was one of the major difficulty. And because the market is not there, the scale volume is not there, and volume is not there, then the finance is not there. The
Hmm.
cycle was very difficult to break up. But now I think there is a challenge of augmenting our scale as well as replicating it.
Hmm.
How to replicate this process in elsewhere, that is a major challenge.
I'm very happy you said the word replicate because it gets forgotten as another way of scaling. And just this notion of the enterprise itself as to scale is fundamentally, in my opinion, flawed. And here I have to make a disclosure that, all of you are advisees of Second Nature. And to be honest, it's been both an honor and a learning for me to see how, based on this, sort of, we've built a trust and common values based relationships. And so the interactions have moved from the traditional transactional model of an advisee and an advisor to one of, I would say, true partnership. The simple first question. Which M comes easiest to you?
I think, mm, I think measurement, honestly. Because solar, it's still, AI is not going to take up solar. Okay, so I'm safe in that sense. So we are able to actually measure how many people we are able to employ directly and indirectly. So every day there are 4 5 laborers that we hire. Then there are supervisors. These are some of, indirect, people that dependent on us. There are a lot of contractors, and there are cleaning cycles. So we have a clear cut employment laid out for next 8 to 9 years. So for me, the measurement is the easiest one, wherein I'm able to measure the real impact that minus CO2 is having, and why minus CO2 exists actually.
Well, also the CO2, right? Emissions.
Absolutely.
Kale?
I also think it's a measurement because it's very satisfactory when you say, "Okay, I have used this much of waste." Like we have turned from 10 tons per day to 15 tons per day consumption of the waste. So that was the major satisfactory aspect, I think.
I am at a stage, we are barely, as an organization, we are barely 1 year old, and I am kind of, each day one M crops up. But honestly and interestingly, and modularization is coming to me easier than other M's.
Which is the one you struggle with most? Again, let's go into that first.
Struggle, I think, modularization.
Okay.
Rooftop solar inherently is customizable. So whether it's pitched to the clients, whether it's execution, I find it difficult with that the modularization. That's something that I've been working on.
You would think I'm picking up from the Siddharth only, but same challenge is here also. Modularization as well as team building. Being a very small organization, good people don't. It is difficult to retain also. If they join also, then it is difficult to retain. And another thing is to scale up and augment the own, as well as how to spread that or connect elsewhere, where because the CND problem is versatile. So how to spread that is
Yeah, and
another.
there are even communications, forums, all those things, right? Peer-to-peer
Hmm.
learning all comes into play, and that's one of the reasons we think. And you talked about the manager side also.
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons why we feel the ecosystem needs to not do these, put somebody in an accelerator program for 3 months, 6 months, and then graduate them, because these are lifelong journeys, and as you grow, a founder
Hmm.
is not set up to become the perfect manager and to think all of these things.
I think I'm struggling with mine
Okay.
ownership. Since this is something really close to my heart, I've been working as a resource person for almost 25 years, and working on it, nurturing it, getting into the shape that it is now. I am facing issues about team building, my partners, getting the right people on board, not getting them. Uh, I thought I was a very flexible person, good to work with.
Time for a confession from me here is, as you might have heard, I get irritated and disappointed with the focus that the ecosystem tends to have on just emphasizing scale and making decisions based on scale rather than what are the true attributes of an impact enterprise. Obviously, scale is important, but that's not just the be all and end all. And if I look at examples that I'm familiar with, whether it's solid waste or solar, in the case of solid waste, we see enterprises that start bringing in a scale opportunity, move away from waste streams that are no longer, they don't do a waste to wealth, and they sort of forget and start ignoring those waste streams. And plastic is a perfect example. Similarly, in the solar sector, we've already talked about how the shift has happened to large scale. And all these companies that were doing brilliant rooftop solar work, in fact, some of them have been mentors to me. They're all now doing large ground mount, and they no longer deal with the rooftop distributed set, because the equity investment wasn't big and better. So we, for lack of a better word, have said, what is this thing called? And we just started calling it real impact, because there can be a lot of impact washing. and where the enterprise, through its lifetime, and that's crucial, through its lifetime, continues to keep this focus on both the obviously the financial side, but the impact creation side on social and environmental, and keeps doing it simultaneously. How, from everything you guys have described, you feel, I feel you're in that space. So with all this external pressure and frankly the attraction of going big, how do you deal with this, staying true to, in a way, real impact within your organization, within yourselves?
It's always been the response, the real response. Face to face, I work with kids. I don't have online, sessions, and I work with kids closely, and the response makes me, just continue here. I have seen changes. I am documenting, I have case studies where children, it's not have shown responses to meaningful art. And it's not to say this is a sort of a, program to kind of correction program or something, but they have shown, response to it, a very positive response. That's what keeps me going.
I think people recognizes these efforts, and that is very satisfactory. Uh, Self-satisfaction, as well as your work has been appreciated, like you people are doing, and other in well, business. Also, it has been selected or as well as recognized as a good effort. So that is the good force.
So obviously there's this pressure to scale. That's always there. But I feel staying true to your mission, I think that's really a non-negotiable for me. uh, uh, Helping a school go solar, or a hospital, save money, or it's a residential society save money, and every year work with them how much they have saved. Actually, I think it keeps me grounded. That smile on my customers, and that's the market that I want to work in. I'm very clear on that. So I think that helps me. Any pressure on the scale, anything that's fine. But I'm just grounded because of those core things.
Hmm.
Able to meet really like-minded people. Not someone who's just raised VC money. And I don't want to be in that room. I want to be with people like you around. I mean, that's where I want to be.
Time to make a wish. And I want to first caveat it by saying, I'm going to ask one thing from each of you that you want, but please don't say a bucket load of money, because we want to talk about things other than that. And so, for your real impact to scale up, what is it today you think you need from the ecosystem that'll immediately help you?
Mentoring, as well as, because I am not through the formal management course or formal corporate culture.
Hmm.
So that is lacking, and that support is required.
I think there are lots of things, but one thing I expect wish would be getting our priorities right as a society. Because I think raising money for an entrepreneur, a lot of things, which makes an entrepreneur is just money, adding value to investors, some of those things. I wish that definition needs to change somewhere. I call myself an hardcore entrepreneur. Today I have to call an impact entrepreneur, but I don't see that, that impact would has to be added, because entrepreneur is, value beyond just profits is what I believe in. So I think somewhere getting our priorities right as a society is what I feel. I know it's like a really big ask, but expecting somewhere we get there.
Apart from that, a broader need, I think, is for networking and for platforms where, because like the TCDP platform for me was such a pleasant, happy space. We need more networking communities. We need uh, to meet more people. And collaborations are the name of the game right now. And everyone, that's what I feel.
Absolutely.
Okay, so hope all of you enjoyed listening. This is for our audience, and next time we'll be back with another reel on Voices of the Impact Economy. Stay tuned.